Hello there, and thanks for choosing to listen to this episode of the EdgeVerse Techcast. This is a great place for you to hear interesting updates on all NXP software, tools, and enablement, specifically tailored for our application processors and microcontrollers. I'm one of the co-hosts, Kyle Dando. Bridgette Stone, how are you doing over there in the great state of Utah?
Hey, Kyle, I'm doing great. Weather's awesome, enjoying summer, and doing even better after looking at the response we had from our 25th episode.
That's right.
We had a lot of listeners reach out and leave a few comments. That was very much appreciated. And a special shout out to Aaron Toga, who was the first to comment and will be getting an NXP swag item. Thanks again to Aaron for listening and your nice comment.
Yeah, thanks to all the listeners. We put a lot of effort into this, and so it was nice that people gave us some feedback. So what are we doing today, Bridgette? Today, we're going from Wi-Fi to Bluetooth, ZigBee and Thread, all of these wireless connectivity standards. It's the thing that we find in our smart homes and factories. And today, we're going to unpack it all for you and show you what NXP is doing to make it way easier for your developers to use that technology. To help us dig in, Bridgette, we've invited Sanjay Subbarao. Now, when Sanjay's not deep in SDKs and wireless protocols, I hear he's working on his pilot's license. That's pretty impressive, Sanjay, so welcome to the show.
Hey, Kyle. Hey, Bridgette. Yeah, what's not to get excited about flying? Sometimes when you look from up above, it almost looks like the land, the buildings, and the areas around me. It looks more like a PCB board. So I guess you can't get too far away from work. So there is that. I also feel like there's a lot of parallels between aviation and the wireless connectivity piece, because both of them rely on precision, reliability, and you want to make sure everything functions and communicates seamlessly so that you can feel like the equipment is doing and following the commands as you're guiding it. And seeing those connections change lives on a day-to-day basis. So what what else better could you be doing? And I'm glad I'm doing that here at NXP.
So, Sanjay, let's start at the beginning. When you meet someone who asks what you do, how do you break it down in under 2 minutes? What does NXP's wireless connectivity portfolio look like, and how do you support it?
I start off by saying I work in the applications and the SDK engineering team at NXP. I work mainly focusing on the connectivity portfolio, which encompasses Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Thread, and ZigBee. These technologies, I've realized, are the foundation for connected devices in consumer, industrial, automotive, and the medical domains too. My role is to make these technologies accessible and easy for developers to use. That means building and optimizing the SDKs, tools, and then making it easier to access through documentation so the customers can integrate the wireless chips quickly and reliably. We also collaborate with the other engineering R&D teams and partners to troubleshoot some of the problems that they face and make sure the solutions that we have are ready for production. Ultimately, I feel like the goal is to take the friction out of the development process and help customers bring wireless products to the market faster.
That's awesome, Sanjay. And it's so rewarding when you can get those customers to start building their products and they thank you for helping them avoid those pitfalls and helping them understand maybe some critical areas where it's not as intuitive as they might expect. So yeah, it's a super rewarding job, but it does take a ton of work. And I know you're working both internally and with customers to make sure we get more of those wireless solutions into customers' hands. All right, Sanjay, here's another question for you. You visit so many customers developing products that require wireless solutions. Can you share an application that our listeners might not realize is really popular for NXP's wireless technology?
Yeah, one thing that I can think of is ZigBee and the up and coming RW612, which supports the 802.15.4 technology. Our engineering teams have enabled it to operate as a ZigBee device, which means it can be used in the existing ZigBee networks like smart home lighting, sensors, or even home automation systems.
Okay, ZigBee. I have a few ZigBee devices at my home. I have a Philips Hue light bulb. I have some water sensors hooked up to SmartThings through ZigBee. I have some IKEA light bulbs. I know those are ZigBee based. Sanjay, how can this RW612 support help ZigBee devices in the future?
So the idea is that you have these existing ZigBee investments which need to be made more compatible while adopting to the Matter standards. Also, you want to avoid the rip and replace kind of upgrades that's happening in some of the areas today. Also, from a systems engineering standpoint, this involves protocol translation, which is seamless and compliant. And we want to manage the dynamic endpoint mapping, which involves integrating the existing nodes and adding the new nodes to the same network as well.
I like how you tied Matter adoption to why it matters. I'm sure we've heard this joke before. And I know that the RW612 is the perfect solution for customers that have multiple protocols and radios to support. So thank you for sharing that. And I want to get just a little more technical. I know off mic, you mentioned that you're heavily involved in interoperability. For those who don't live and breathe wireless every day like you, what exactly is interop and why is it so critical?
It's a great question. And I feel like one of these conversations is very important because people, I feel like, are feeling that pain of not meeting those interoperability standards. And here's why it's hard. Because some of the devices from different vendors actually have their own ways of communicating with each other. The specification at times isn't very clear on the implementation, and there are some areas where there is more leeway in terms of what people can implement and how they can implement it. It is critical in the real world because no one has a home or a factory that runs just on one brand, and everybody has to work together seamlessly. That means at NXP, tackling challenges like tri-radio coexistence with Wi-Fi, BLE, and 802.15.4, all running side by side without interfering with each other. It also means handling the complexity of the Matter ecosystem, which spans multiple transports like Wi-Fi and Thread. Supporting that also requires rigorous testing, compliance, and certification. So customers who are using our products can trust their devices will work reliably across platforms as well.
Okay, I get it. In Matter, there are multiple ways devices interact. The interoperability is the process that allows everyone to be heard, and more importantly, prevent one device who really likes to talk from robbing all the podcast time. Oh, wait, wait, wait.
Hey.
Sorry, I meant rob the network bandwidth.
That's very clever, Bridgette. Very clever. I don't know who you were talking about. Okay, Sanjay, let's not let her get the last laugh. That was a really good explanation. I think all our listeners have a better understanding of interoperability. Can you dive a little deeper into what NXP has done to set themselves apart from others? With the RW612, they have a great tri-radio part, but how have they taken that part and really stepped it up with respect to interoperability?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the things that NXP is setting themselves apart with is the RW612, like you mentioned, which is a Matter border router combined in one chip. This allows customers to build a Matter ecosystem using just that chip. It's a low-cost development board. It simplifies design and reduces the bill of materials, which customers really appreciate.
Okay, so how have you seen customers getting started with the RW612? What's the most popular way?
We've made it easier for them to get started. The Freedom RW612 board, which is available at a low cost value of $30. We have partner modules as well with uBlocks, Murata, and CEL, which are all plug and play. So customers can prototype and validate quickly, which shortens their path to production.
So, Sanjay, let's wrap up by looking ahead. Where do you see the biggest challenges in wireless, and where's the most exciting reward?
I feel like you want to start with the positives first, so I want to talk about the biggest reward.
Yeah, let's keep it
The
positive.
So like the biggest reward is customer empowerment. When customers can deploy a solution which is secure, interoperable, and uses the NXP SDKs and the reference designs, and they don't have to deal with the friction, that's a huge win for us. It also helps reduce our work and helps them bring their products quicker into the market. It increases their confidence in the wireless deployments as well. The other piece is the industry standards bit, wherein we are getting involved in the evolution of Matter and Aliro as the standards keep growing. And we are contributing to that adoption through the robust platforms like RW612, which positions NXP as a leader in shaping the future of connectivity.
Wow, lots of future benefits and excitement for customers. Okay, so now share with us the other side. What are the inevitable challenges?
Well, I mean, everything has its own flip side. One thing that sort of comes to my mind is the scalability bit and certification. So as the ecosystems grow, you feel like there needs a lot more testing and that needs to scale. We need to work on compliance and certification, which means that the systems engineering team must ensure that the devices not only work reliably across vendors, but partners as well. The other piece that I wanted to touch on is when I spoke about the positive of the customer enablement bit and the ecosystem support, a slight negative would be we will have to work on supporting multiple customers through the SDKs, the reference designs, and the custom integrations that come with it. This is a bit of a challenge for us because we see that the use cases have diversified and they diversify very quickly. The teams will need to anticipate those needs across smart home, industrial, automotive, and medical domains as well.
You're right, Sanjay. It's super complex, and those are huge challenges. I think everybody's working towards it. You talked about Matter and Aliro. I think those are ways that we're trying to get everybody to work together to make it easier to deliver these next generation smart devices. But let's wrap up the episode. We had a great time with you, Sanjay, talking about the NXP wireless connectivity. We talked about all of the standards that you're involved in. You're out there supporting our customers with Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 802.15.4, more specifically with ZigBee, supporting protocols and applications like Matter, Thread, Aliro, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, all those things that are adding complexity into the customer's products. What you talked about and what you did a great job explaining was the interoperability. It's not just sticking 3 radios on a chip or in a product. It's how do those radios, how do those protocols, how does all that interact, and how does everybody, as Bridgette say, get a fair voice and don't let one person rob all of the bandwidth. So great job, Sanjay, on helping our listeners understand. The RW612 sounds incredible, and I think it's going to be great for our listeners.
What a great episode. Thanks, Sanjay, for sharing so much information about the wireless space today. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I didn't realize the time go by, and I always like to talk about wireless and everything that comes with it.
Well, to our listeners, if you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to subscribe and follow along so you never miss an episode. And if there's a topic you'd love for us to cover, let us know.
And until next time, keep innovating. Go check out some cool wireless stuff, and we'll catch you on the next EdgeVerse Techcast.